Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do an update to a video I did a few weeks ago, which was titled, Man Focused on His Purpose, Achieved Success, and Now Enjoys Rejecting the Ex Who Rejected Him. And guys, in case you didn't see it, or just a quick recap because it's been a while, this is about a guy. He's a young guy, and he's from India. And he shared his story last time, how pretty much he had a girlfriend for a number of years, really thought he had a great thing going. We've all heard that before. And pretty much was the Mr. Nice Guy who made her the center of his universe. The sun rose and set with her. He did all the typical nice guy type of behavior, texting her every day, calling her every day, being there to beck and call, all these things that nice guys do, and to no surprise, predictably was dumped. And she dumped him for a guy that was literally the exact opposite of him, a bad boy. And I might add, a bad boy that comes from a family with money. And I might add also in this story, which you guys remember, he wasn't exactly on his grind then. I mean, he was doing some things, but he wasn't on his grind in the way he eventually became after she dumped him. So she breaks up with him, he licks his wounds, and eventually he embarks on a path to better himself and move on. But before he does, he goes out to the country and spends some time with his grandmother. And his grandmother, of all people, gave him some unbelievably good advice. The type of advice that I give. Like literally, she was the red pill grandma from India. And she gives all this advice that I say and do, and he listened to her. And he went off, focused on his career, focused on his purpose, got a job out of the country over in Sweden. He's doing great. He discovered martial arts, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which he loves, so he's bettering himself. And then down the road, as he obviously is moving up, good position, good money, guess who reaches out to him? Can you all guess? The ex. But this time, he is now developing himself into what we call a high-value man. And guess what? He gets to have the last laugh rejecting her. Now, he's going to pick up with an update as to things have been going on since, both with the ex, his cool grandma, and other women that are after him. Because this is a great story for you guys that are trying to turn yourself around, trying to shake off those old nice guy ways that brought you a lot of hurt and pain early in your life. And always it's good to hear when somebody does you wrong, how eventually they come crawling back and you can say, nope, no chance. So he picks up, he says, hi there, SSM. I hope everything goes well with you. So here's a final update to my story. I'm doing extremely well here in Sweden, focused on my master program with a scholarship and going with my BJJ. I gave up smoking, drinking, and learned to control my diet. I got a bunch of cool friends at the gym and visited northern Sweden. Being from a top tropical region in southern India, the climate is unbearable, but I loved it. It's a new experience. Awesome, bro. On for your masters, training in BJJ. You said you cut out the smoking, the drinking, improving the diet. This is great. I'm so proud of you. This is what all you guys should be doing. And he's traveling. And I'm sure northern Sweden's climate compared to India is quite the difference. The reason I'm sending this to you is there are two interesting incidents that happened to me afterwards. An interesting one in relation to my ex, and I want you to know your opinions. I want to know your opinions on how I handled it. Since I came from the land of stupid Bollywood movies that glorify simping, which misleads a lot of good guys into misery, I lack the right perspective, and although my grandmother is there back in my village to give me the kind of advice that I got from nowhere, I also wanted you to know it so that if there's something that needs to be fixed, then I'll learn, and if it's good enough, I may help other guys that face my exact situation. Well, bro, I guarantee you, as you know, there are plenty of guys around the world that will fall into situations like you, and hopefully some of them will watch this video and your previous one and learn. Or some buddies of yours may have problems one day, and then you have learned these things, and you can help them. That's the goal here. Anyway, here's the thing. My friends back home have already explained to my ex as to how I fix myself. Got on a higher position in life, and that drives her nuts. 2 weeks back, I got a call from a friend back home. He says in parentheses, he's already knew that I would not fall for her trap though. Now all these days I've been ignoring her calls and her efforts to connect to me through my friends. But this time I really wanted to say to her that I don't want her face on her face. Whatever that's supposed to mean. There's nothing more satisfying than telling that. At the end of the other video, guys, she was really reaching out to him. Notice that happened after he moved on and started bettering himself. Big shocker. She was near him, and I accepted to talk to her first. Pardon the writing here, guys. Just bear with me here. But the point is, he has a friend that knows her, and obviously she was trying to talk to him, so he's going to talk to her. And watch how this whole thing goes down. First, she apologized, told me that the other guy that she went for was a jackass, and that he was a complete menace. Imagine that. The bad boy turned out to be a complete jackass. Who could have saw that coming? I don't know. Everybody that watched that video, because that's how a lot of the bad boys are, complete jackasses. But they know how to push the buttons in women the right way to get what they want. So when you nice guys learn the same buttons to push, but you have bad boy qualities, but you're not a freaking jackass, you got it made. Anyway, he says, I really think that she didn't leave him, but his list. God, he wrote this bad. No offense, bro, but this was written a little badly here. He said, but she was on his list and it was over. Just my 2 cents. She told me that he was nothing compared to me and apologized to me for underestimating me. Oh, now this same guy is now nothing compared to you. Meanwhile, she had no problem dumping you, bro, and kicking you to the curb. But now she wants you back that you have success and doing well. I guarantee you, if you haven't achieved this success and self-improvement, you would not be having this conversation. She'd find somebody else. But she wants a sure thing. And in her mind, you're the same nice guy that will take her back, and she could pull the same crap all over again. But you have evolved. And she ain't going to like that. It says here, this repetition of apologies went on for several minutes. I finally told her, you know what? I don't need you. I'll get someone better than you. Or if I don't get anyone, I just don't care. I live a happy life before meeting you, and I'll live a good life after you left. Exactly. Good for you, man. Right. You moved on. And either you'll get somebody better, or you're perfectly cool being on your own. That's the place to be, guys, where you don't care either way. You meet a great girl, she's pretty, she's cool, she's a little supportive, great. You have a good time with her. But she's still not the top of your priorities. She's a added benefit, if you will, if she actually qualifies as that. But you also don't care if she's not there. That's the place to be, the indifferent attitude. And when you have an attitude like that, what happens? They chase after you. You're in the best place to be. But when you do the opposite and make them the center of your world and do all the things this guy did in the beginning, they dump you. He says, this kind of enraged her. And she told me this. And he says, and I'm not joking, this is exactly what she told me. I never expected this at all would come out of her mouth. I wasn't expecting this at all. She says to him, Hari, you shouldn't show this level of attitude with me. You're not that tall or handsome. I know you went to Sweden just to get a coat and a tie and to get some respect. Ouch. If he wasn't that great, then why is she chasing after him? She's just pissed off because he rejected her. He says, now, did I get pissed off? No. Did I lose my temper? Absolutely not. I smirked. Although I was shocked that a girl that I lived for 3.5 years with would tell me such a thing to my face. I don't know how it happened. I just slipped my tongue and replied calmly. And this is him. What he said to her. He says, if I were a tall, handsome dude, I would have been with a good-looking girl and not an ugly one looking like you. Ouch, bro. She deserves this, and I can only imagine the look on her face. You can say that I don't afford good apples. Well, guess what? I spent 3.5 years with a rotten one. He says, I'm sorry if it sounds being too misogynistic, but I think she deserved that. No, she deserved it. I cut the call then and there. About half an hour later, my friend asked me, WTF did you even say Hari? And he rolled laughing on the floor. He told me that she got burned for a few seconds and was searching for a better response, but I didn't give her a chance and immediately cut her off the call. Her chapter in my life is completely closed. Good. That's it. You had the final word. You had the last laugh. You insulted her because she's pissed off because first she's all about apologies. And when that didn't work, and then you said pretty much, I don't need you. Then she had to resort to insults and insult your height and other stuff like that. And you only went to the other country to better yourself, blah, 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 because she has to have the last word. But again, you got the last word and you cut her off right then and there. Good. Have no contact with her again. I gave her a response, and never again. Never again she'll come thinking about me again. I think this is all about leverage and not love. I mean, when I was the nice guy, she had leverage. When I fixed myself up, I had the leverage, tremendously above her. She first had to acknowledge my leverage and thus apologize to me. But when I ignored all her apologies, her ego kicked in and tried to gain leverage over me by belittling me by using my height card so that I can satisfy her ego. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. Good analysis, bro. You are getting this. You are really you've evolved so much since the time of your first email. You're understanding this now. I gained back my leverage by giving her the response I gave, and I immediately cut the call so as to bring this game to an end. And I'm perfectly fine with my height, by the way, and to be honest, if someone does want me because of my height, it's none of my business to argue with them about it. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is teaching me how to apply techniques and defensive games to overcome the height disadvantage and get on the top position. Although I'm only a beginner, I value myself, how much I progress in BJJ, not something I have control of. He says, yes, BJJ is frustrating, very frustrating for every beginner, but consistency is the key to every drop of sweat, is guiding me an inch closer to the game that suits me, and I'm satisfied with it. And I'm thankful to Najib Warsame and Victor Alvarez, two of my bros who took me to the BJJ dojo. Love you, brothers. All right, shout out to his bros that got him to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And by the way, my martial arts school that I went to for 6 years did 3 arts: Krav Maga, Muay Thai kickboxing, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I did Krav Maga and Muay Thai. I was very active for 6 years, and I loved it. And they were always trying to get me to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, always. Like I wasn't busy enough taking 2 martial arts, right? And the number of times I tried it out, it just was not for me. And I know it takes a long time to get good at it. I think it takes like 12 years to earn your black belt. And I say earn your black belt. And it is very frustrating and tough, but the people that are into it, they love it. And they recognize it takes a long time, but keep grinding, bro. You will get better and better with every single workout. In the meantime, just take a day in, day out, enjoy yourself on the mat. Enjoy the journey, as they all say. Okay, back to the story. It says here, next thing, there's a girl that I knew from my college days that is into me now. Now, back in the college days when I was having an affair with my ex, it was no big deal. An average student with a lot of backlogs to clear. My professors, except 2 of them that knew me personally, did not think that I was that bright. But after getting 2 papers published and having a master's program in, I can't pronounce this, somewhere in Sweden, this girl got intrigued and was surprised. No one ever in their wildest dreams ever thought I'd reach here, let alone clearing all exams. Well, you proved them all wrong. And there's nothing more satisfying than proving people wrong that said you can't do it. And let me tell you guys, and you guys have experience with that, I have a lifetime of that happening to me, and that is one of the driving factors that pushes me. There's a lot of things that push me towards things I want to achieve in life, and one of them is the motherfuckers when I was younger that told me I wouldn't amount to anything. Various teachers and people, things like people I grew up with. Who has the last laugh now? Anyhow, he says she texted me, and I didn't reply. And then called me after she came to realize I'm here in Sweden. She's not doing such an important job in India, though. She started calling me and texting me, and basically calls me on almost every day. I don't usually pick up her call, and when I do, I'll be at the library or at the dojo, and tell her that I'll call her later. Whenever I tell her this, she asks me when I'm free to talk. And when she calls me later, I don't pick up the call or talk for more than 2 or 3 minutes. I learned my lesson, and I don't want to repeat the cycle. And then she takes a break for a few days not calling me, probably expecting I'd call her back because she asked me, weren't you free at all? And I don't even bother calling her. When I call her once in a blue moon, it's only for something important, like asking her to help my mom find an accommodation when my mom visits her place for checkups and stuff. Other than that, no sweet talks, no daily texting or good mornings or good after nights, no I miss you kind of shit. No, I'll come back and we'll plan a visit kind of stuff, etc. So you got this girl chasing after you, and you're doing the exact opposite of what you used to do, and she won't leave you the hell alone. Texting, calling, etc. You keep it short, you keep it quick. Now, if you actually are interested in this girl, okay, you can be, in the minimal time you give her, you can certainly be friendly and cool and be your real self, but just don't do what you used to do. And right here, look how this woman is chasing after him. She found him online, saw he has success, that piqued her interest, and now she's bombarding him with attention. Isn't that amazing how that works? When I visited India, in between, I went to her place to see my other friends there and didn't visit her, nor did I tell her that I was coming. I took pictures, my friends posted them on Instagram a few days later, and she called me the moment those guys posted it on Instagram. All missed calls, by the way. I attended one call and she kept calling me for a day and then said, I came here to meet the docs and meet my friends and had to go back ASAP. Train timings were tight. I was with my grandmother at her ancestral house and she asked me who I was. I told her everything and my grandma jokingly replied, if you're going to repeat what you did before, hurry, my golden pot of love, you're opening a glass door to see what's on the outside. Meaning, I already know what's going to happen if I repeat the same stuff over and over again. So it's better I don't repeat it. I just love this wise old lady. She deserves my love. Back to your cool red-pilled grandma. Right. If you repeat the same crap you used to do, you're going to have the same fate. Now, this woman is pursuing you, in my opinion, a little too much, to be honest. It sounds almost stalkerish, but you must have done such a 180 to who you used to be that this chick is just so intrigued and wants to get to know you and have you all to herself. So you can pat yourself on the back. I said, to be honest, I don't even consider her, the new girl is texting me, a priority because, like I said, I don't want to repeat the cycle and learn to be happy in my own company and be around people that genuinely care for me. She never cared for me before when I was just below an average Joe, but now she seemingly does, and it's only because I'm at a higher level than her in life, and she didn't expect that ever. So was she one of these people that outright didn't give you the time of day when you were younger and obviously in a different place? That's what I'm a little confused about. Maybe that's what it is. Because if she was someone that you were interested in her and she wouldn't give you the time of day, if that's the case, then hey, the hell with her. But if she's just someone that was acquainted with you and you never really asked her out and she's expressing interest, that's a little different. But the point is, look how she's chasing after. She's relentless in her pursuit. That's what women do when they really like a guy. Or they're crazy. It says here, so it's not because of a general concern for me or just some sort of attraction because I did the unexpected, and the moment I lose my grind, I learned this word from your videos, she'll forget about me. So why should I care about her? Yeah, she's not important, dude. You're still young. Focus. Keep doing what you've been doing. Martial arts, the advanced degrees, moving up in your job, being in good health, hanging out with your bros, doing what makes you happy. Because I guarantee you, she ain't going to be the only girl who's going to be chasing after you. And you now are in a position to be selective. But as I tell all guys that had girls not give them the time of day when they're younger, be very careful about these girls that are chasing after you when later in life because they're looking to settle. Okay? And now that you have some success and doing well, just be careful. But also keep in mind here, bro, is that you're building yourself up to be what is considered to be a, if you will, high-value man. And by doing that and making that 180 to who you are or who you were, you're going to attract other women. So it isn't always a case of well, I'll just settle for some dork just to get married. You've actually made yourself into an attractive guy. Just keep doing what you're doing. It says, but it's weird. I find it so intriguing, although now I do somewhat know the reason that my ex wasn't that enthusiastic about spending her time with me, even after doing a lot for her. And this girl, I don't give her the time of day, and she knows I'm not available all the time, and yet she finds time to keep in touch with me. Funny, isn't it? Well, it makes perfect sense to me. The first story in the beginning, you were bombarding your girl, your ex, with attention and being there at the drop of a hat for her, being essentially her butler and all that, kissing her butt, treating her like she was the queen, doing that Bollywood movie crap. And look where it got you. Now you're doing the exact opposite, and this chick is chasing after you like you're the last guy on the planet. So which guy do you want to be? Makes perfect sense to me. Women are crazy. It's so hard for guys to understand until they see the big picture and learn all this, and then it all makes perfect sense. He says, well, anyway, I'm not making this character up. I just want to be honest here. And he sent me some screenshots of her messages to him, which I'm not going to include. And he says, as a quick update, as for my grandmother, I saw many a comment asking me to take her around the world, so I wanted to tell this, yes, I really want to take her around the world once I get myself really fixed. But when I told her this, she smiled and replied, if I come with you, who will take care of my crops, my lentils, and who will light the lamps at the prayer room? He says, Hindus light a lamp every sunrise and sunset as a form of prayer. I only wish to the heavens to see you live the best, and the only gift you can give me for guiding you is that you generally take my advice and succeed in life. I don't know when the heavens will call my name, but I pray to the gods that I see you become successful before I close my eyes and leave this world for the next. Damn, your grandma's cool. She's awesome. I had a very cool grandma. So grandma died when I was 16 in 1994. But man, I wish grandma would live longer to see me grow up and become an adult and all that. But you have an awesome grandma. When I told her that SSM has sent you a high five, she saw that in the previous video, she sent you one back. And when I read out the comments about people talking about her, she jokingly said, "So there are many guys out there like you. I'm a retired school teacher, and God made me spread some message that boys need to listen to people I've never met even after retirement. I'm happy if that helps them. I just love this wise old woman, and nothing is more beautiful than me spending time with her, drinking coconut beer with roasted tapioca and fish curry with her at our ancestral house where our joint family lived for 2 to 3 generations before her, while she's alone there now." Well, guys, that is the update there. And again, to the guy who wrote this, great job. I'm really proud of you. You've been born again strong, born again RP'd. You've learned the lessons. You're getting this, and that's wonderful. And so you can, if you can make a 180 like this from your white knight, nice guy ways you were back in the day, all guys can. So your story here, mark my words, will help dudes around the world that are watching this. It'll give them some motivation to turn things around, or help them start their journey. So good for you. My recommendation is just keep doing what you're doing now. Focus on improving yourself, better degrees, as long as the degrees pay off. Moving up in your company or whatever line of work that you're in, saving money, investing money, and building wealth in the spectrum that you're comfortable with in terms of investing. Staying in great shape. Keep up with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I know it's frustrating. I know it's hard, but give it time. You'll get better and better. And one day you'll have your black belt. Could take 12 years, but you'll get there. And just keep finding a new mountain to climb. Keep rising. And as you do all these things, focusing on you, finding new things to achieve, people are going to find you fascinating. And you're going to have more and more women that are after you. But just be careful and have the indifferent attitude that you have, but not being a dick, but putting yourself first and being indifferent. And you'll be amazed at how people respond to you, because most people in life really don't do a whole lot. They'll do just enough to obviously keep their jobs and pay the bills, but they're really not, beyond childhood, at least my observation has been, really seeking out new challenges, going out of their comfort zone to do something cool. Life is short. So in my opinion, it's best to use that life to do something amazing. This is why I keep doing what I'm doing and finding new things to improve myself, new challenges. I'm thinking of an idea just now of another business I want to set up. I was talking to a buddy of mine this morning about this during a personal training workout, and he definitely agrees with this idea I have. So it's just, I'm going to keep doing this until I drop dead. So good for you, man. I'm glad you're doing great. And it was a good update to hear. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. Give him a high five in the comment section for his improvement. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.